Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is May the 9th, 2019. Strong hand offended by selling. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable. No fancy sets or graphics. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. Check out the links below. I link to everything that I talk about in this video. You can follow me on Twitter at techbalt, techbalt.com. Remember, tomorrow's show is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. in London. It is This Week in Bitcoin on Friday. Simon Dixon will be the one guest. So now let's talk about the One Bitcoin Show. I want to mention someone that's in motion, Crypto Monedas TV. On Saturday the 18th, there's going to be a marathon online on this Spanish language channel to raise money for Venezuela, and I might make an appearance depending on what time they do it at. I link to it below. It says Venezuela. Link to below if you want to find out more about the Spanish-speaking channel that's going to be doing a Venezuela benefit event. Here is a and by the way, people, question and answers. If you got questions in the chat, do ask them. Type in Bitcoin Meister, because I'd love to answer questions today. There's not that much I have to talk about on my agenda today, because there's a lot of there's a lot of non-news out there. People making bold statements that really don't have much substance behind them, and there's only so much you can say about such antics. I wanted to give everyone a quick update with Baltimore City. Baltimore ransomware attack. Here's what is working. Here is what is not in city government. So yeah, there was a ransomware attack in Baltimore city government. It has shut down many things. They're demanding some Bitcoin apparently, and well, Baltimore City is not going to pay the ransom. So that's where we're at. That article is linked to below. And again, it's bad that this type of thing happens. I don't like people trying to extort Bitcoin out of people. But it does show you a use case for Bitcoin. And yeah, I'm not one to negotiate with blackmailers, obviously, but if Baltimore City had the Bitcoin, by this point they're starting to lose. It's starting to cost them a lot. It probably would have been cheaper just to pay them Bitcoin. But check out the article. It's an ongoing situation. Let's see how long this lasts and what the conclusion is, and if it starts to make some national news, if Baltimore really gets shut down because of this ransomware attack, like in a major hardcore way. Because again, most of these government workers aren't even necessary, so the city can function. Here is a good tweet. Pound that like button, by the way. And speaking about Venezuela, I think Gabriel is in the chat. Check out last week's This Week in Bitcoin at disruptmeister.com, at techbalt.com, and you can see him on the show. He did a great job. It was a wild show. Will you visit the PNW again? That is from Survival Bros. The PNW, what's that stand for? I say what's the oh, by the way, this is an Australian. These guys are in Melbourne, Australia. But what's PNW? What's PNW? What city is that I've been to that I can't even think of? Will you visit the PNWs? Tell me, Survival Bros. I'm really Pacific Northwest, of course. Of course I'll visit the Pacific Northwest again. Of course. But just not until it'll be next year. It will be next year, most likely. It won't be this year. It will not be this year. But yeah, I love being in Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, and I guess is Boise considered part of that now? Spokane is, but Boise is. It really is, and I love it there too. I love all those places. Pound that like button. Spokane and Boise, cities of the 2020s. You heard it here first. And I keep on saying it's Boise. I say Boise because I'm from Baltimore, city of the 1950s. Pound that like button. Anyway, Aztec BTC shared these thoughts and just puts it in perspective for all you altcoin freaks out there. I had 6 Bitcoin worth of altcoins, he uses a different word, on Cryptopia, which I forgot about in January of 2018. They are now worth 0.14 Bitcoin. So this guy, I mean, he was playing way too much with his altcoins. I guess he had playing with all sorts of altcoins on all sorts of exchanges, and he forgot he had 6 Bitcoin worth of altcoins on Cryptopia, and now he realizes that he had that much worth, and now they're only worth 0.14 Bitcoin. Ouch, that's horrible. That's why you value your wealth in Bitcoin, and that's also why you don't trade and you don't keep coins on different exchanges, but you can lose track of them like this guy did. You think it's impossible, but no, it's sad that this happened to that dude. Woo! All right. Now, and someone says he meant PNG, Papua New Guinea. I'd love to go to Papua New Guinea. You know I would Kadir, but I don't have plans to go to Papua New Guinea. I may, you never know. One day, but that's not, I can't say that with like such certainty like I did with the Pacific Northwest. I know I'm going to go back to the Pacific Northwest. Papua New Guinea would be good, would be a nice place to go to. I'm very interesting. But you know, I've said, people ask me, you know, what's the favorite place you've ever gone to, Adam? I like places where I can live in comfort with modern facilities, and I know Papua New Guinea can be not so modern in places, and you know, I'm just not into that as much as I was. You know, I went to Mozambique. That was enough for me. But people are always asking, you got to go to Southeast Asia, you got to go to Cambodia. And again, I know Papua New Guinea is not in South. Don't misquote me, people. I know Papua New Guinea. No, that's not different than Cambodia and everything. Papua New Guinea is on the way to Australia. That's in Oceania, I believe. You would consider Papua New Guinea a part of Oceania. All right, so let's talk about people that are in motion. And Kadir is in motion, by the way. He's a good dude. And someone else that's in motion is this dude at a company called Symbit. So I see on Twitter someone from Symbit all of a sudden started to follow me. So I was like, well, what the heck is Symbit? Let me just check it out. It looks like it's interesting. Symbit, it offers a tough, durable solution for storing valuable crypto keys, designed with marine-grade 316 stainless steel to resist both fire and flood. And so I checked him out. I contacted the dude, and he's like, immediately contacts me back. He's like, yeah, and your viewers can get a 15% discount on any package, valid for the next 7 days if they use the Meister code. So anyway, what is this? I give the guy credit. It's crypto steel. It's basically crypto steel. I guess it's a direct competitor of theirs. Instead of writing down your recovery seed, and it could burn up in a fire or get ruined in a flood, you get this unburnable, unfloodable metal way of storing your private key, your recovery seed, whatever. And that's what this company does. So good for the dude for being in motion, following me, and for immediately replying to my DM that I sent him, and for willing to give a discount to everybody here. 15% discount. Use Meister. Colonel Swan Jr. is in motion. He just gave me $10. He says, Bitcoin, slow is good. Yeah, I like that. You got to be careful, people. You take your time when you're doing important things. Bitcoin takes its time. Bitcoin takes its time, and it slowly develops. It does not rush into anything. It doesn't change for the sake of change. There's so many people that just want they rip on Bitcoin because it doesn't change. Why change for the sake of change? Again, that's like diversification for the sake of diversification. It's that same mentality that haunts the the cryptocurrency space. The people that must diversify for the sake of diversification, that's not necessary. And it's just like change for the sake of change. No, you don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pound that like button. Oh God. So I talked about Symbit there. Oh, here, the Arjun, who's been on my show before, and he's a really smart guy. He made an announcement, and I'm sharing this announcement because he's in motion. He's getting a better job out in San Francisco, which is great. And I want everybody to be in motion, but I'm going to extrapolate upon this. I'm excited to announce that I'm joining Paradigm's investment team to help build the best asset management firm in the cryptocurrency industry. My focus will primarily be on cryptocurrency markets and investments in public blockchains. All right, so there's my reason to bring this up is this, a smart dude working with a bunch of other smart people at a company called Paradigm, which is going to be managing people's crypto assets. And he's going to be focusing on primarily on cryptocurrency markets. So all these smart people dealing with altcoins is what it boils down to. And telling other people, making other people feel good that they told them what altcoin to buy and that they'll hold their altcoin for them. And sure, there'll be Bitcoin thrown into these portfolios also. The altcoins aren't going anywhere, people. They're not going anywhere because people are finding creative, because there's always going to be people that want to diversify for the sake of diversification. And these smart people think that they'll be able to beat the returns on Bitcoin by managing people's altcoins. And people out there think that smart people are going to be able to do that for them. And instead of trusting themselves to manage their own altcoin portfolios, they're going to let these smart people do it. And so we're going to see all sorts of funds and all sorts of groups, just like Paradigm. And again, Paradigm also does funding for cryptocurrency-related companies. And I guess you'll be able to invest in Paradigm one day and get return, the returns on these companies. Why complicate matters, people? Keep it simple. Just in the long run, I believe just owning Bitcoin will beat every single thing I just mentioned that Paradigm will be managing, and other companies just like them will be managing, whether it be investing in companies that deal with cryptocurrency, or investing in altcoins or altcoin portfolio. I'll dump this altcoin on this day, buy this one on that day, and then my portfolio will go. No, it's so complex, so unnecessary, all these third-party mongers. Why do you want these smart people to manage your stuff? Have confidence in your own brain that you can manage your own portfolio and keep it simple. Keep it Bitcoin. And if you like altcoins, you hold onto your Bitcoin. Eventually, you're going to get some crypto dividends just by holding on to them, and then manage them. Manage the crypto dividends you receive for free by signing up for the airdrops, or just because there's been a fork, and manage them and decide how you're going to turn them into Bitcoin. That's your portfolio. That's your brain. And that's the benefit of holding. And it's so simple. But people are going to keep on wanting complex solutions to easy problems. And you know what, Arjun, if you can get a salary from it, then, that's great that all these 80%ers want to fund your company, that you'll get I'm sure he's moving to San Francisco. He's going to be paid a lot of money to do something like this. And the fact that he's going to get paid a lot of money to do something like this is there's a bunch of other people that are going to set up companies where they want to get paid a lot of money to do stuff like this, and people will pay them to do stuff like this. It's unbelievable when all you have to do is get Bitcoin. Okay, Roman Q says, Bitcoin Meister, what country do you think will be the first to abandon their fiat and make Bitcoin legal tender? My guess is Panama, as they already abolished their currency and use USD. Now, I don't know. We can't be 100% sure that ever will really happen, because these countries are just so greedy. Their bureaucracies, their bureaucrats, their sociopathic leaders are so greedy that it's just easy for them to print their own fiat. But if they were if they were long-term thinkers, they would actually buy some Bitcoin with some of their fiat before it went down the tubes, and then make the announcement that they're going to go on the Bitcoin standard, whatever you want to call it, and they would become wealthy because everyone would be like, oh, well, now Bitcoin's the powering this one country, and people would want to invest in that country, A, and B, Bitcoin would spike because it would be just a huge worldwide story. It will be, if it does happen, it'll be some third world, but yeah, it'll be a developing country. It'll be a developing country. And Central America is probably a good guess. Asia is a good guess also. But who knows if that is going to even happen. Make it legal tender. And, well, again, that was a two-part question. And my answer was to the two parts, that the country would have to abandon their fiat and make Bitcoin legal tender. Because you could be a country and just keep your fiat and also make Bitcoin legal tender. And that's going to happen in a lot of countries where they'll just keep their fiat and they'll just be like, yeah, Bitcoin's legal tender also. We'll accept that for tax payments. The first country that's going to do that is probably a country that realizes that it's going to go broke pretty soon and wants some of its tax slaves to pay them in Bitcoin. And so that they'll start collecting Bitcoin payments instead of their worthless fiat payments. And that will be good for their corrupt treasuries. All right. Moving on. Vention, he's in motion. This is not related to Bitcoin, but I wanted to share it. It's an update on his situation. He just released a video, and he's very positive about his situation. I think everyone should watch it. And yeah, he's got a strong hand with life, and he's got a strong hand with his Bitcoin now. So shout outs to Vention. I linked to your video below. People check that out. Pound that like button on Vention's video and on this video. What is this? Okay, so we talked about, and okay. So I could have had a clickbait title to this video, and I'm not even mentioning this dude's name because I'm so tired of this story. But it goes with the theme of people and entities that love to make bold claims. In the last few days, we had the guy in charge of Binance make the bold statement that, hey, maybe we should have a rollback. And again, there was little substance behind that because it wasn't going to happen. But we have these huge, bold statements in crypto because they get a lot of attention. Now, I don't know if he was seeking a lot of attention with that. But we have so many people that are willing to make these bold statements that have little substance. So, of course, the poster child for bold statements with no substance is fake Toshi. And we have a story that has come out today that is related to that. Jameson Lopp has published an article. And anyway, for those of you who get in arguments with SV people about fake Toshi being Satoshi, here's a time-saving hack, okay? Just send them this article, okay? That's why I'm mentioning this article. For those of you who waste time arguing with people about this, just send them this article. That's your answer. That's your answer right there. Okay? That's it. It's a split second. What I like to do, I do something that's even faster than that. I just say, no, I don't even participate in these type of things. But since this is, I did say a few weeks ago or 2 weeks ago that Lopp would be coming out with an article soon and it would be big news. Well, here it is. The day has come. It is big news for the people who care about that kind of nonsense, about people who make big, bold statements in the crypto space that have nothing to stand behind their big, bold statements. There you go. Bunch of time wasting stuff right there. So there were some tips in my little rant right there, how you save time when you're dealing with rants. Okay. And let's move on to people who cut something that came out of the rollback theme on social media. Oh, there were some funny responses, some comedy gold. So here, I want to share what the Bitcoin Rabbi said. I spent $3 worth of Bitcoin on a coffee last week, but the coffee wasn't that great. I was thinking to reorg the blockchain to return my funds, but have since decided not to. There you go, brother. There you go. It's all about that. No, Bitcoin Rabbi doesn't get a bailout. Nobody gets a bailout here. This is where the big boys play. And to sum that all up in a non-joking manner is Andreas Antonopoulos. A reorg to recover exchange losses is like a bailout for a bank mismanaging risk. Fortunately, it's so hard to pull off and so likely to fail that, unlike banks, there won't be a bailout here. Those who fail security get to eat the cost, not your keys, not your coins. And that last part is what sticks out to me the most. If you fail in this space, whether it be with security, whether it be with anything, you eat the cost. This is where the big boys play. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. That is what it's all about. You fail here, you eat the cost. No bailouts. And you can make big bailout statements to get you a lot of attention, but you don't get a bailout. There are no bailouts in Bitcoin. Pound that like button. That's it for today, because there are no more questions unless one pops up in the next 2 seconds. And I will remind everyone to tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Baltimore time, 6 p.m. London time, to watch the This Week in Bitcoin show with Simon Dixon. He will be the only guest. Pound that like button, bang that bell button. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. I'll say hi to all of you in the chat right now. Good evening.